So I will transfer you my energy. I will transfer my karma. Here is my karma on you.
Yeah, brother.
Please record.
Boom. 3, 2. Oh wait, no. Now we are live. Now I forgot that I was the one who was going to do the counting down. Like the machine wasn't. So when I clicked it, it just went.
We're going live in 3, 2, 1. Oh shit, we're already live.
Yeah, we've been live. That's gold, though. You know, just drowning out, just pulling out content for you guys. Right.
So the last episode, the intro was going while we were still talking. Did you hear that?
Oh yeah, no, I did that on purpose. I was trying something new because I figured out how to do put the logo on top of the video. So then I kind of just eased the intro in and out.
Okay.
Did you like that, or did you think it was better the other way?
I don't know. I don't remember what we were talking about before. So
It wasn't anything important.
It's never anything.
It's true. You hear that? Oh my gosh. All right.
What is it?
It's just the car alarm. All right.
Oh, I didn't hear it. So that's a good thing.
Oh, cool.
Can't be worse than a metronome.
That's true. Oh my god. Okay, it's done. It's nice.
I hate that. Man, they should really. Car alarms should have. I don't know if they do, but they should have like a timer. Like if it goes off, if nobody turns it off within like 2 minutes, well, nobody's coming. So it needs to go off, because sometimes I hear a car alarm and it goes for 10 minutes or so, and it's so annoying. I mean, by that time, in 10 minutes time, you can get the wheels off. You can, you can do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If nobody's coming in 10 minutes.
I know.
Nobody's coming.
Yeah, I've never had a car that was like sensitive to the touch, or like I've never tripped a car alarm that was like that. Have you done that? I haven't done that. You had?
I think once my mom's like remote thing, it's either like you open the back or like the alarm goes off. I don't know, one of those. And I accidentally hit.
You gotta speak up, JoJo. I can't hear you.
My mom, you know the like button pushers for cars?
Yeah.
He had one that was confusing, and so I hit the alarm instead of like unlock or like, I don't know, it was stupid. It's scary.
I think it's happened to everybody. Where you go to hit it
and it goes off. Oh, this one time, that reminds me, I don't know why that reminds me. Well, kind of, we're on topic, but like I was at the mall one time, obviously a long time ago, because
it goes to when I was in high school.
I don't remember what it was. It wasn't that, actually. It wasn't that long ago, maybe a couple years, but it was a busy day, and I was walking back to my car, and I noticed that on my car, there in the door handle, someone had acted like they had tried to open it and put in a flyer, like a rolled up piece of paper. And I looked at it, and it looked like this, like it was obviously bullshit, because it was like some I think hair salon or something, and it had a bullshit number that I called later just to see, and nothing, it rang out.
That's really smart.
And then, then I looked up and down, like if I were to walk by my car, because I was parked in one row and they were walking like horizontally across a vertical row. You know what I mean? Like not up and down, but like across.
Yeah.
And every car, like across that line, that horizontal line, had that fucking piece of paper in the door. So they were just going around opening up people's doors, and if there was locked, they were sliding. I was like, that's fucking smart as shit. It's annoying as hell, but it's smart. I respect it.
I think it's funny, the people that leave their keys in their car unlocked.
People do that still?
Holy shit. Like, you mean like parked at their house?
Yeah, like it's at their house, it's unlocked, and they have the keys up where the sun. What's that thing called? The visor thing?
Yeah, like the mirror, like your mirror.
Yeah, like the sun, where it keeps the sun off your eyes. The little
sun visor. Yeah, that works.
Sun visor. Yeah, we'll go with that. Like I don't trust anybody to do that. So I mean, that's crazy that people do that.
Yeah. That's like, that reminds me of like, go get the truck, Sonny. And then they're like fumbling around and then they like knock the keys out. I think that happened in Breaking Bad. You watch Breaking Bad?
I watched first season.
JoJo doesn't like it either.
Hey.
So I'm just kidding. I can't tell if she likes it or not. I love it.
Everybody says you have to start watching the second season, but should have got my attention the first season.
But the first season is good too, though. They like burn that body in the bathtub.
Oh, with the acid, yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
I mean, it's pretty nuts compared to other.
I'll stick with my anime.
I mean, you can do both, but whatever floats your boat.
We just finished watching a Korean Netflix show, and I cried like 18 times.
Wow.
So sad.
Like anime, or was
No, it was
just
just a show.
What?
It's called Hi Bye Mama. It's all in You have to read it, subtitles.
Oh,
we did
wow,
it
it's
anyways.
that good, huh?
It's good, yeah. Really
Man.
sad.
All right. I don't really like watching sad stuff, but I mean, if it's good, it's good,
I know. I was like, why am I crying?
Yeah.
I was gonna
How'd you
say
land?
something or ask something. I don't remember.
Well, it's okay. We've got a long show. We got a good
Oh,
show.
I remembered. It's kind of weird, but so I'll show it to people if you're watching. So obviously I have pretty long hair. However, if you can see right here, what's this called? Like the hairline?
The receding hairline, I guess.
Yeah, it's starting to recede.
Yeah.
So I made an appointment with Bosley, the hair company.
What?
I just wanted to see because I wanted to see if I could fill it in before it gets worse.
Yeah.
Because I know my mom's side, some of the guys are bald. My dad's side's fine, I think. But I just wanted to see how much it would cost.
Did they get back to you?
Yeah, I had an appointment. Like they FaceTimed me and everything. So
wow.
obviously I have most of my hair, so it'd be just that little section, right? So
Yeah.
maybe an inch.
Man, you really do like LeBron.
So I want you to guess how much filling in just that little section right here on both sides would cost. How much do you think?
$250.
$250?
Yeah, $250.
Jojo, how much do you think to get this much, like just this little portion from here to here, filled in from both sides?
You said $250, like $200.50. I mean,
Someone wasn't listening.
Sorry.
Yes, that's how much
Rude.
John guessed.
Okay. I say 4,500.
Okay, well you guys aren't even close.
Okay, that's weird. That's weird because we're both very far from each other.
One more guess for both of you.
10,000.
John?
1,200.
You both still are not there yet.
What? Hey, are we going?
$11,000 to fill in
What?
just this much.
Are you
Wow.
serious? Holy shit.
That's nuts.
That's crazy,
Wow.
right?
That is crazy. Fuck that.
What
Wait,
I
what
was
did you
thinking-
say? Yeah, what did you say? Are you going to do it?
Fuck no.
I just want to make sure.
Oh my God. At first I thought she said 1,100, which would make sense to me.
Yeah, that'd be on the more expensive end.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, no problem. She said 11,400. And she goes, well, we got a promo right now until June, which it would save you, it would be 8,900. And I kept a poker face. She's like, oh, okay, thanks. She goes, oh, we also do financing at 0% for 24 months. And I was like, oh, what was that? You do 0% financing for 24 months? I was like, awesome. 11,000. That's crazy.
Yeah, what would that be?
So think about me. I'm hardly balding. So how it gets
$450 a month for 2
So-
years.
Yeah, so think about people that are like seriously balding, like back to here, everything there. That'd be like
50,000.
50,000.
Maybe. Yeah,
Easy.
that's crazy. Wow. I wonder if it's like just because that would be crazy if it was $50,000. I mean, I don't know. Some people hold a lot of, they care about their hair.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it my hair like that? I feel like my head is just
Nah,
huge. Look at that sucker.
mine's way bigger.
Your head? Really? I feel like my
Uh,
head is so big right now.
There we go.
Yeah, just right now. It's in. Ah! That was cool. That right there is the reason why you guys should go check our YouTube subscription out, because that was worth it. Episode 12. Man,
12.
fuck, we're 15 minutes in, and
Dude, so before that, I have one class left,
nice.
so I graduate.
Nice.
I got another A, so GPA's 3.9.
Hell yeah. Whoop, whoop, whoop,
Got
whoop.
my first class, I got a B, man. I should have focused on that first class, but when you're first getting into it, you're not really into it.
Yeah. Oh,
But fuck,
absolutely.
3.9, that's magna cum laude, baby.
That's unreal.
Not
That's a different
sumo.
language, bitch.
It's not sumo, but I like magna better. It sounds cooler. Sumo just sounds like a sumo to me.
You have to have a 4.0 to have Summa? Really?
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
4 or above. And I'm like, how do you get above in college? Above a 4.0?
I feel like you take like,
Graduate class or something?
yeah. Yeah. Because I feel like I've seen like people bragging about like whatever 4s and 5s. But nice, man.
Yeah.
Nice. 3.9. That's awesome.
I was thinking about Shepherd and the classes at Shepherd, and I can't believe I didn't get a 4.0 GPA at Shepherd.
We drank all the time, dude.
I know, but I'm
That's
just thinking back. I'm just thinking back. I'm like, oh my gosh. All I had to do was literally go to the class right after the class for 30 minutes, do my work, and then I could drink all I wanted. Couldn't even do that.
No, fuck that.
Oh well, we live, we learn.
Do you think that if you had studied harder and like got a 4.0, like obviously I feel like everyone who's graduated with a degree now can say that if I went back in time and applied myself more, I would get better grades, right? I mean, is that fair to say?
Yeah.
So if we go back in time and you get better grades, do you think that, and nothing else changes, do you think that your career would be better, or you think you would have done something differently?
I don't know. I kind of wish I would have done like an entry level position or like one of those college pathways positions with one of those huge companies.
Yeah.
Even if you make
Enterprise.
no, like a Northrop,
wash
like
cars and
like a Northrop
drive
Grumman,
people around. Northrop Grumman. Okay, yeah.
or
like Lockheed Martin or something.
yeah,
like that.
yeah. Those and literally do entry level. I don't even care like that first year if I made like $15,000. Just having that on your resume would be sweet because I feel like when people look at resumes and go, "Oh, they worked there."
Yeah.
Because I know the one guy that I used to work with, he works at Johns Hopkins, and he said he didn't really do too much there, but when he went elsewhere, people just saw that he worked at Johns Hopkins, and it was like, oh, he must be so smart.
Yeah, I think that had Johns Hopkins. That's where my mom went and my dad went. If I would have got better grades and then got a job that probably was going to be better, just because, I mean, I would have tried to get into one of those firms like you, and then like maybe traveled, because like one of my friends, he worked for Deloitte, and Deloitte has tons of offices all over the place, so he could work at one office and then apply for a job at a different office and then easily get transferred. So he would pretty much just work and travel the country. I think that'd be kind of cool for at least like the beginning of your career.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I also wish when I was in high school or college, I would have gotten like a part-time job as a laborer. Either if it was like a welder or like fence builder or something like that, like a carpenter.
Like
Because
then
then I could have like a side project where if I come home on a weekend, I could fiddle with something and then sell it for like $2,000.
Well, if you learn aren't you learning programming?
No, not really.
Like, or haven't you shown an interest in learning like Python and
Yeah.
like coding?
Yeah, I would love to do that, but it's one of those things where I wish I had a project or I wish I was getting paid for it.
Well, you have to learn how to do it first.
I know kind of how to do it.
Do you know it well enough to get paid to do a project?
No, but I could learn it.
Yeah, that's what
You get,
people. I have a friend who is in graphic design, and he just goes on this. He's a freelancer. People just ask him to make like stupid memes and gifs and fucking things like that, and he gets paid to do it. I was like, it's ridiculous.
so I think after I graduate, I will probably sign up for or just YouTube those classes just to learn it, and then I want to create something and then apply, because a lot of things that I could apply for like system admin, but you need to have, the bad thing too is there's so many different languages. So the one job I saw, I thought, oh man, this would be perfect, but it said you need to be prolific in Java. And I'm like, I have zero clue about Java, but it is what it is. I'll find something.
Yeah, it's all about just keeping your eyes open and your opportunities abound. You know.
I'm sweating, so I'm opening up the.
Get it. They turned off they're switching their heat to air conditioning over the next couple of days, so that's cool. All right, episode 12. Topics today are sewage or sewer, the sewers, and counting cards. And after, we're going to have a new segment. I know we keep saying that we're going to have new segments, but I think this one is actually going to stick. Hopefully, we'll try it out. Schwit Facts. We're going to provide you listeners with a random fact, and then we'll talk about it a little bit.
Think of when you open a refreshing Snapple, sponsor us. You open up the top, and under every top of Snapple is a fun fact.
Think about those fun facts, and then like double it, because these are super fun facts, and that's just how we fucking roll, man. So let's get into it. Who will go first?
Right.
Is this your champion?
Have you ever been to, what's that called, Medieval Times?
No, I haven't.
I want to so bad. We should go. There's one on Arundel Mills Mall.
I'm down. Go
Because you get a champion, you get your little crown, and you're like, go green,
I'm down.
go red.
I'm down.
That would be so much fun. All right, here we go.
These are both fairly easy. Shane, how many soccer players should be on the field at the same time?
22. Come on.
Chill. John. What coffee brand logo shows a drop of coffee leaving the cup?
A drop of coffee?
Harder than I thought it was going to
My
be.
God, that is hard. Dunkin' Donuts.
No.
Pete's Coffee.
Maxwell House.
How the fuck am I supposed to know that
Let
shit?
me tell you something. That was rated easy.
One more for me. I want to do one more because the questions are fun. That's why people watch Jeopardy.
What artist painted the late 15th century mural known as The Last Supper?
Da Vinci.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, was I not supposed to say that? I thought we were just going now. We both.
So was that easy for you?
That one was easy.
Oh. Okay, great. What was the first planet to be discovered using the telescope?
Mars.
Mm,
Right?
I'm gonna say Venus.
You're both wrong. The answer is Uranus.
That's funny.
I guess you can see Venus and Mars with the naked eye, technically.
That's a good point.
Um,
But that wouldn't mean. But I feel like I would look at those first with the telescope if I had already seen them with my naked eye. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? These fucking scientists back in the day got it all wrong, man. Discovering shit is easy, and you get excited about it. That's why I should do it. You and me should discover stuff, and then we can get excited about it, and then do it the right way. You know?
I wonder if we could. I wonder if there's a database of finding stars or comets or something. I wonder if you could, because I know there's some place which is a huge racket, where you can buy a star and like name it, which is bullshit because nobody owns stars, but you can own the naming rights to a star. Whoever came up with that is a genius.
Yeah.
Because, oh, hey, I have this really cool telescope. I find all these stars, but I spent $1 million on this telescope. I can't really make my money back. How can I do that? Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll hire a lawyer friend so I can own all the names of the stars in the universe.
Yeah. Even
There's only 1 trillion of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's probably not even like a legitimate, like buying the land on the moon. That's bullshit.
okay.
There's no way that's what.
I have an idea. We're going to do 3 questions. Shane, can
Ooh.
you hear me? Okay. And you're going to, it's rapid fire. So both of you are answering. At the end, that person gets to choose who goes. Okay?
Okay.
Jackal.
All right.
It wasn't a jackal the first time.
Okay, we're pending
All right.
pending the
Let's
question.
Close out of the browser. All right. So
Here we go.
Ready? Okay. Who created The Simpsons?
Mac Rule.
Some guy named Max.
You're both wrong. Matt Groening.
Oh, I was close.
Oh, yeah.
I got the first name and like half of the last name right.
Okay. This is a biblical question. Who was the father of David?
Father of David?
Isaac? No.
Leviticus.
No. Solomon.
Jesse.
Who was it?
King Solomon wasn't his dad.
Jesse.
What's his name?
Jesse.
What the
I don't know. All right, Shane, you go
No,
first.
one more. We're over.
You're over me?
Over
Yeah.
2. We got this last one. We're so smart.
Oh, one
Wait
more.
for one more.
All right. What is the only mythological animal mentioned in a Harry Potter book title?
Unicorn.
All right.
There's no title with unicorn in it.
Wait, what? Oh, Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
Order of the Phoenix.
There you go.
Cool.
I thought you meant because the unicorn blood. I didn't hear the title part. I just heard mythological creature. And that's how Lord Voldemort was staying alive. He was drinking the elixir of a unicorn, the blood of a unicorn, which causes everlasting life. However, it comes with a curse.
Of course it does.
Yeah, I read all the books. What's up?
All right. Do you want to go first?
Yes.
Okay.
So Shane's topic today was counting cards. So when you refer to counting cards, you usually refer to the game blackjack. How's the voice? You like it? No?
Good. Yeah. Keep it up.
No. So blackjack, if you don't know what it is, it's a game you play against the house which is usually, the casino. And the objective is to hit the score of 21 without busting or going over. So how to do that is you have the cards. So you have 2 through 9, which all are their numbers. So 2, 3, 4. But anything 10 through king acts as a 10, and an ace acts as a 1 or an 11. And the objective is obviously to beat the dealer. So if the dealer, so everybody gets 2 cards, but the dealer gets 1 face down and 1 face up. So the objective is to try to think of what the dealer has and get your score above it. So an example would be, let's say I just got dealt a 2 and a 7. So I have 9 points. And the dealer has a 6 and a face down card. So obviously I know that nothing can go over 21, so I'm going to hit. So let's say a king comes down. So now I have 19. So I'm going to stay because the only way I can get a 21 is a 2, which the odds are very low. And the dealer has a 6 showing. So even if he gets something like an ace, that's only 17. And I don't believe the dealer can hit a 17. I think it's either 16 or 17 where they can't. If they hit that mark, they can't hit anymore. So why I'm saying all this is because blackjack is one of the only games where you can actually have an advantage against the house. And how you do it is just like the title, counting cards. So what most people do for counting cards is, let me have it up here just so I have the exact numbers. Oh, shoot. I just had it and my thing went away. Give me 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4. Hold on 1 second. There's the values. So there's 3 values that you have to worry about for beginners. The cards, there's 52 cards in a deck. So cards 2 through 6 have a value of +1. Cards 7 through 9 have a value of 0. And anything 10 through ace has a value of -1. So why this is important is because if a deck has a positive value, then that means that you're more likely to get a blackjack. The reason why blackjack is so important is because whatever you bet, if you get a blackjack, then you get not only double, you get 2.5. So typically blackjack, you place a bet down. Let's say I put $100 down. If I beat the dealer without getting a blackjack, I get $200. If I get a blackjack, I get $250. So why that's important is because if you have a higher advantage of hitting high numbers like 10s or aces, the more likely you're going to get that payout. So let's say that a bunch of low numbers get dealt out first. So let's say that, I get a first round, I get a 2, I get a 3, the person beside me gets a 5 and a 6, the person next gets a 2 and a 3. Well, right there, it's a +6 already. So you keep counting, right? And then the next round of betting, you're going to have such a high plus where you're going to probably bet more. So usually people bet low, like, I'm going to do $10 this hand. Yeah. However, once you get if the cards are hot or the deck's hot, and that means, oh wow, it's a +10. Well, that means a lot of aces are probably going to come here soon, which I have a higher probability of getting a blackjack. So
everything underneath 10 points is +1, and everything above is minus.
No, so 2 through 6 is +1. Okay. 7 through 9, 0, and then 10 through ace is -1. So if a bunch of aces and kings and jacks come out,
Mhm.
then step away from the table and go find another one.
Interesting.
So how casinos have kind of combated this is casinos typically use 5 decks now. So you can still count at casinos. However, it's not as effective because the math behind it is you have to do that whole plus minus calculation I told you, but you have to divide it by the number of decks that are left. So let's say it's still helpful because early on, let's say it's a brand new deck. You have 5 decks, right?
How do you know? Is when they shuffle it. Can you ask the dealer how many decks they're using?
Well, I think you see it. I think they have the thing.
How would you
They
know?
have the thing right there.
You just kind of guess.
Yeah, and I don't know if they have it broken down, but I know there's a card, or you can guess. I think there's, I don't know.
Inches or something.
I forget, but you get to a point where you're like, oh, I think there's only 2 decks left. So instead of dividing by 5, you divide by 2. So let's say your count's at 12. If you still have the 5 decks, or let's say you have the 4 decks, you do 12 divided by 4, which is 3. But if you only have 2 decks, it's plus 6. So plus 6 is definitely a lot higher than plus 3. So as the decks get lower, if your plus is higher, then you're going to start betting way more.
Right. That's interesting. So if you're at the beginning of the game, a plus 3 means a lot more than a plus 3 at the end of the game.
No, the opposite.
But the plus 3 at the beginning is divided by 15
By
by
5.
5. So
Yeah, so 3 divided by 5 is not even 1.
I meant the end result is 3. If after you've divided by 5 and you have 3 as your result, it means more at the beginning of the game than it does at the end of the game because you're only not dividing at all.
Well, you're always dividing.
Even if you have 1 deck, you're dividing by 1.
Yep.
Okay, well that's pointless.
That's kind of stupid. It's pointless.
Yeah, so you're not dividing at that point.
At that point, no.
So at the beginning of a game, it just seems like casinos to beat that would just include between 5 and 9 decks at any given table.
Yeah, but
not really tell you, That's why it's confusing to me to how it became such like a big thing, or like how it was a big problem, how it's a problem for casinos at all. I understand counting cards, but
what probably happened early on is they probably only used like 1 or 2 decks until the end. Well, if you're smart and for example, like I said, if it's only 1 deck and the first 7 cards are all low,
right,
and you're at plus 7, well, that's huge for the rest of the game, which you can just, instead of betting 10, you can bet 1,000. So then all of a sudden, your likelihood of hitting blackjack are way more. So then instead of winning $10, you just won 1,500.
Yeah.
Huge difference.
Right. Yeah.
The one movie I like is 21.
Yeah, it's a really good movie.
With what's his face? The guy Kevin Spacey.
Yeah. That's a good one.
And yeah, so if you ever want kind of an idea, do that. Except for it's not the best because they don't do the divided by, but it's not as exciting if you tell somebody that they have to divide by the number of decks.
I feel like it makes it more. I feel like I would be more trusting in it if it was more math. You know what I mean? The harder it was to learn, I feel like the more comfortable I am in doing it. Or the more likely I would, more probable of a positive outcome.
Yep. So they have these classes. They have these classes online to beat the casino or whatever, and the average person can do it, and it just takes practice, like anything, just to kind of get the counting down without you actually looking like you're counting cards. Because casinos, if they think you're counting cards, they can pretty much say, hey, you're done, or hey, you're counting cards. You're pretty much done. We're not going to let you do that anymore.
Right, but I've read that they can't do anything about it unless you're like signaling or like giving someone else signals. It's perfectly legal to count cards.
Yes, but casinos would tell you otherwise. Because casinos would literally shut you down. There's so many videos out there of people counting cards, and they get called and they go, hey, we know what you're doing. You're not going to do that anymore, or we're not going to let you.
The casino can't control your own thoughts, and your thoughts are counting the cards. So if you're doing it solely by yourself, then there's nothing that they can do about it.
They can refuse your service.
How would they would just kick you out for no reason?
They would pretty much tell you, hey, we think and we know that you're counting cards.
But you're just thinking. But counting cards is just doing math in your head.
Yeah.
So how can they put jurisdiction over your thoughts?
Are they doing it?
I don't think they are. I don't think they can. Can they do that? Unless if you're signaling to in an organized fashion, like they did in that movie 21, I feel like that is something that they can do about. But if you're counting cards, just you at the table, I think that's.
I get what you're saying. It should be legal. However, casinos, if they catch you doing it, they will literally come over and go, "Hey, we know what you're doing."
That's what I don't understand. Is how would they ever catch you doing it?
Betting patterns. Because a casino also counts the cards, so they know when they're at a plus or minus, and if they're at a plus and players are starting to bet differently from what they were doing previously, then they'll come over and stop, because they don't want to lose money. Casinos are in the money-making business. So if they see a player, kind of winning, they actually don't like that.
So the internet, everything that Shane is saying is obviously correct, but counting cards isn't illegal unless you use quote unquote a device to do so, which is a felony under Nevada law. Card counting is frowned upon because it violates an unwritten law.
No, it's the casino losing money law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But they can't stop you from doing it if you're not using a device, because they would never know. I mean, they could kick you out and then blame it on something else, but they can't. I feel like.
Well, apparently they have every right to kick you out for card counting.
Yeah, so if you're doing it and they think you're doing it, they will just tell you, hey, you're not allowed to play at this table anymore.
Yeah, so they would say something, but they can't come over. I feel like. Yeah. It's just not like you're writing anything down or you have like a clicker in your hand. So it's not like, excuse me, sir, I know what the fuck you're thinking.
So the best way I would think, if you do count cards to make money, is not to change your bet from 10 to 200. I would do it from like 10 to 50 and just slow roll them.
You just lose on purpose if you're so good at it, you know?
Yeah. Well, you're going to lose hands. That's just the game, but nobody wants to lose money on purpose.
Nice. Yeah, that's true. You're damn right about that, Shane. Good job, man. All right, so the question I have for you is,
Let's go gamble.
I don't know, man. Playing the stock market is pretty exciting for me.
I'll have to come over. I'll take off one day, come over.
It's actually, it's definitely not as exciting if you were watching it.
No, it is.
Because
it is.
If you
I watch Robinhood stock sometimes and I just go, oh. It's like a roller coaster, man.
I guess I meant watching me, but I can teach you some stuff that I learned. It's pretty exciting, man. So my question is, counting cards seems, since it's technically it isn't illegal, it's probably the best strategy, if not one of the best strategies to winning at blackjack. And my question to you is, what do you think outside or in like professional sports world, what do you think the best strategy for winning is? And I have a follow-up question, but I'll leave it there.
So you're talking about like a sport.
So like you have like the triangle offense, you have the run and gun, you have a whole bunch of soccer things, the bicycle kick, you have the flying bee from the Mighty Ducks.
So I'll do the major sports then.
Okay.
Because obviously chess would probably be number one.
Chess, just the overall strategy of chess.
Yeah.
No, I meant like a specific. What do you think the most successful strategy is? Not like what is the most strategic sport. It's like what do you think like whatever Tom Brady and the Patriots did. You know what I mean? They had a certain strategy.
Oh, like a play action in football.
Yeah, like that's what I meant. Like the triangle offense or like zone defense. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
what do you think the best strategy to win in a game is? Not like a season, just one game.
Oh, man.
A good one, right? I say I'll let you think about it for a second. So I'll just say triangle offense because of the Jordan. I don't say triangle offense, but I mentioned it. That's what I meant. That's not my choice.
I actually have one.
Do you already? Nice.
Yeah. So this one is the biggest risk reward in sports.
Oh, I like it. My nipples got hard.
It's hockey.
Oh, man.
It's pulling the keeper in hockey to put another field player on.
Well, that's the most – but aren't they losing the game at that point?
So you could potentially be losing it. However, if you could start the game off with 6 people and no goalie, you have such a higher advantage of scoring. However, obviously you have –
Yeah, I mean, that's like – it's like flipping a coin, I feel like.
It's kind of like the thing in football where I think that one high school, they've only played like 3 times in the last 10 years, but they've won 6 state titles or whatever because the statistics behind punting are, especially at the lower level, are
punting,
stupid.
That makes sense.
Especially, I hate the people that punt. They're like, oh, you know what? We're on the opponent's 45-yard line, and we don't have anybody that can kick a 60-yard field goal, and we're at a 3rd and 1 or at 4th and 1. Let's punt it. Let's pin them back in the zone. I'm like, it's 4th and 1.
Yeah.
They still, if you fail, they still have to go 55 yards to score 7.
Yeah, the Ravens started going for it a lot on 4th and down this past season. It was awesome.
Well, a lot more teams are going to start doing that because of the analytics.
Yeah, just the statistics, it just makes sense.
Because so many teams can pick up 3rd or 4th and 3. Now, if it's 4th and 17, yeah, unless it's the 4th quarter
shift though. That 4th and 1, if you're going for it on the opponent on your own like 40 or 45,
yeah,
you get stuffed. Man, that's a big momentum shift. That's another cool thing about sports is that like you get the analytics part and you're like, all right, well I'm gonna play this and that, and this looks good, but then it's an actual game. So you have like the crowd, you have, the rest that the certain players are having, the weather, all the different things that go into like making creating the story of the game. It's just so cool,
So I think football, it might be the most strategic out of all the main sports. I think it's by far because obviously there's strategy in soccer, but if you have guys that are more skilled and faster and stronger and bigger, you're going to win 9 times out of 10. But for football, if you have somebody who's like way smarter, you don't even have to necessarily have as good talent, and you can beat the team.
Yeah.
But
I think baseball is I think baseball is really strategic as well when it gets into like late game scenarios. But the difference there is that I feel like if you can have a great strategy in place, and I guess this is true for all sports, but I think the execution factor of the strategy in baseball is so much more important, because in football I feel like you have the overall strategy and then some people can pick up the slack, if someone drops the ball. But if a certain strategy is to like pitch around this batter on, when the base is loaded and you can't execute, that's what I think of. But football is definitely more strategic because you have so many opportunities to put into place like your ideas. You can have like certain people blitz, you can have certain people like run different ways. I think I agree with you. That's probably my guess too, or my choice.
In basketball, I'm going to say no, just because, especially you watch the NBA, you can have a guy like James Harden who you don't even have to have strategy. You just have him go one-on-one. He does a step-back three, and then it's down, let's play defense.
Yeah.
I was going to say something else.
It's like always watching the All-Star game.
Oh, the baseball. The one thing that pisses me off about baseball is how baseball has like these unwritten rules.
Yeah.
One of the things that really makes me mad is when, let's say I'm a left-handed hitter, and the whole infield is shift over. So third baseman is almost like behind second plate, or like is playing shortstop, and they shift over. Well, if I was a hitter, I am going to do like a drag bunt or something down the third baseline. I'm going to get a single out of it. But they never do it. And I'm like, come on, guys. You can't bunt down to the third baseline?
Yeah. Pitcher, I mean, you would have to – it would have to be a pretty hard-hit bunt to get past the pitcher. And most of the guys that they're doing that with are just slow, fat left-handers. So it's like I feel like in that scenario, you want that guy to hit a home run rather than get on base, because then it's like that's what you're paying him to do.
Have you seen the statistics behind that now? So in the last like 20 years, they talk about launch angles for the bat. So it used to be kind of more like parallel to the ground, almost like swinging like this. But now the launch angle is like a 17-degree angle. So obviously, the higher the angle, the more likely you're going to hit a home run. However, more likely you're going to strike out as well. But the reward of hitting a home run is so much greater than getting a strikeout. So it's one of those things where it's, why not swing for the fence? If I get out,
hell yeah.
Oh well.
If baseball was just home runs and strikeouts, it'd be fucking awesome. I love baseball, but man, is it fucking boring if you're watching on TV. And I like watching in person, though. I always say that. I like watching in person for sure. But
that's why, what's the guy? He's going to be a Hall of Famer. The left-handed guy from Japan. Played for the Marlins forever.
Oh, Dontrelle Willis?
No.
What?
It's a Japanese guy.
Oh, Japanese? Oh, no, I totally
right?
saying that.
Left-hander, baseball player.
Is he a batter or a pitcher?
Batter. Oh, my gosh.
The guy who's on the Angels? I forget his name, too.
He just retired, I think, last year or 2 years ago.
Oh, Ichiro?
Ichiro.
Yeah.
Yeah, so his breed is dead because they don't care about a guy who might go 2 for 4 with 2 singles or a single and a double.
So you can't say that his breed is dead, because the guy who hits home runs still needs that guy to be on base.
But another thing that the analytics are saying for baseball now is you want guys on base, but you don't want guys on first base.
Okay, well, Ichiro's pretty fast.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like, if there's a guy on first base, then it's more likely there's going to be a double play or something.
Man,
the analytics, they're taking over. I'm telling you, I read a book.
There's no way that you would not want someone on first base. That's just silly.
Well,
you want runners on base. You want runners on base all the time.
So, hey, not that you don't want a runner on first.
I mean, it's not, ideally I would want a runner on third.
You'd rather have a home run than single.
I guess in certain situations. If you're down by 4 in the last inning, the home run doesn't really do you very well.
Yeah.
I just think that the only like what you're trying to describe is kind of what's happening in basketball. Like the stretch four, that's changing the game of basketball, and the small point guards are pretty much, no more. Need someone.
Wait, did you say small point guards are no more?
Yeah.
No, there's so many small point guards.
I guess. Well, what's a position that the
Center.
stretch four replace? Yeah.
Center's pretty much
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
There's like 3 centers in the league. Djokovic.
I don't know if it's really replacing. It's not really the right phrasing to say that a position is being replaced. I guess it's just saying that another position is moving
More
into the
valuable.
spotlight. Yeah. So that's a better way to say it because, yeah. So like the stretch four is becoming more popular, just like the home run is becoming much more popular, but everything else is needed in order to, carry on the game like it is. It's just imbalances here and there. Cool. You guys want to hear about sewers?
I know I do.
Hell yeah, you do. Excuse me.
I gotta tell you something.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's gonna like it, but I was on a conference call today at work and Jem burped.
Nice.
I was like, but then I realized I was only on the call with one guy, and he's cool, so I was like, that's funny.
That's funny. That's cool. Our dogs bark all the time when we were on conference calls.
Our dogs don't
Good.
bark. It's
Go in the
great.
other room,
I love it.
They don't bark at all.
Not anymore.
That's awesome.
How'd you get them to stop?
Yeah, Max still barks all the time.
Really?
Barks when he's excited. But what'd you do to get your
Might
dog?
have to start scaring her.
Well, sometimes if we clap really loud, like if she barks at the door, she stops.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Or just yelling at her.
Like, get a towel and just slap it against your leg.
That could work. I don't know. She's also like she's like slapstick happy. So she's like just so happy, and then she's just like, wait, what happened? What was it? I'm so excited. I'll stop. Just pet me.
Because I know we tried for the longest time the whole, do this, like go get a Kong and make sure you have food in it. Anytime they start barking, get their attention, or get their attention with this and this. Is always get their attention and so much exercise. I was like, we're doing the exercise part. You run so much. We've done the food thing, and nothing was working. And then the one day, it was just slap on the leg with a. We were doing dishes or something. Slap on the leg, and he was like, "Whoop."
That's awesome.
And then
There you go.
he started barking a few more times. We just tried it out, and my happiness level is so much better. We don't hit him. We just slap it.
Nice.
I just think he doesn't like that slap sound because I think he thinks we're gonna hit him. But yeah,
that was the end. There you go. That's all you needed.
give it a shot.
Figure that out. Yeah.
Give it a shot.
All right. Sewers. So just a few things first off. There's over 800,000 miles of sewers in the U.S.
People don't know that.
That's a lot. And yeah, it's only 238,000 to the moon. So technically you could shit on the moon and send it back to Earth and then back to the moon in a different tube. But then it would stay on the moon. So that's a fun fact.
It's productive too.
Yeah, I mean, and we're just gonna.
Why don't we just do that now? Why don't we just have a tube that goes to the moon, and that's where all of our shit goes?
All of our shit, all of our plastic. You know what I mean?
No, just the shit, because then we could fertilize the moon. Just kidding.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see people are saying that it's a big problem that we have too much shit. There's about 1.6 billion pounds of excrement produced every year into our sewer systems, and it produces this like sludge. So the backup sewer systems have been around for a long ass time, back into Mesopotamian days when they just first started discovering agriculture. So they started with these sewer systems to kind of divert the rain water, the runoff, and their excrement into literal cesspools. And it was a stone box that the water would run into, and it would slowly pour out like the back, but all of the heavy stuff would sink to the bottom, and all of the other stuff would like float to the top. So they would just let the other water out of the cesspool and just go back into the river or the lake or wherever they were going, or if they're getting the water from, because they said that water had natural
Or like bacteria or something.
Yeah, like it would cleanse itself naturally. So yeah, it would like rejuvenate its cleanliness or purification. It had its own purification process. So really only until like the 1970s have we had a solid treatment plan. It's called the Clean Water Act. And originally people would, before we had centralized sewer systems, people would just throw their shit out of like windows in London in 1858 or before 1858, in like the 1850s. People in London, men would wear high heels so that they didn't have to step in the shit and their pant legs didn't hit the ground. And they wore these wide brim hats. So because people would be throwing shit out their windows, because that's how you got
gross, right?
Yeah, super gross. And then in 1858, they ended up diverting all of the water, or all of the sewage water, into a specific place, and then that place was then going into the Thames River, or the Thames. I always say Thames. I need to be more cultured, but it would go into the Thames River, and then they called it the Great Stink. So from 1858 to 1859, the Thames River was just full of shit, and the sun was beating down on it. So it just stunk so fucking bad that they named it the Great Stink. It's fucking crazy. That's essentially what we've done all the way to until 1970, was just have all of the sewage water runoff, and then have the sludge stay at the treatment center, and then that sludge can be turned into fertilizer or some kind of organic compound to compost, basically, to help in agriculture. But the rest of the water would just go into the rivers or the lakes in our country. And the Clean Water Act of 1971 has the second part, so that the water is actually treated now with some kind of something to make it actually pure, to purify it before it goes into the other places. So that's real sad, because it just seems like just a super long time that we've been shitting in our rivers and lakes. That not a very long time when we've been not doing that. So
the water purification process is so interesting, how it goes from sewer. Because I was talking to my boss about this before the whole quarantine, because she was talking about water, and I said, well, we're essentially drinking our own piss. It's just filtered. And she goes, what? I'm like, yeah, like, do you not know how sewage systems work and water treatment plant? She goes, no. So I had to pull up an example. It's a diagram, and she's like, really? I'm like, yeah, they go into these factories, and they like sit there and they like filter out the big chunks, and then like the water. Yeah, it's just a whole process, and we've come a long way.
When I was doing my research, I looked up, they have this video of these people in a London sewage tunnel. And there's this huge thing they call a fatberg, and it's this big black mass that's blocking this tunnel, and it's shit and fat. That's it. It's just shit and fat, and it's black and brown, and oh my god, I felt like I could smell it through the fucking screen. It's legitimately called the Fatberg. Like this is so. We have the Great Stink and we have Fatbergs. Man, I wish I could name stuff. God, it's so cool. All right, so what's your question?
Oh my gosh, what if I had it? Let me see if I wrote it down.
Fatberg. Yeah, isn't that disgusting? Just how like waste. I mean, honestly, the idea of me shitting and using that shit as fertilizer for me to grow carrots and stuff. This is I know, well, it just weirded me. It might make sense, but that's weird as shit to me. It's weird.
I know what it was. If we had to turn one state into a sewage plant where all the United States' shit went, which state would it be?
Fuck. Well, it's gonna have to be a big one. Man, Alaska's too pretty to make it smell like poop. Hawaii's too close to the ocean. I don't want to get poop in the ocean. Maybe Florida. Florida is really on my shit list since this whole quarantine thing happened, man. These guys are nuts down there.
Yeah, but they're opening sports up in Florida.
In Arizona, the fucking Western states asked for $3 trillion in bailout money to get their shit together, and then Arizona goes and says, but we're gonna be opening sports. It's like,
but Florida's already opened sports because UFC was held at.
Oh yeah, UFC and the WWE. And what's crazy about the WWE is that the governor of Florida is actually a big time proponent of the WWE, and the WWE needed to keep their Fox contract because if they kept missing events, then they would have canceled this $200 and some million Fox contract. So there's a conspiracy that the governor opened it up just so they wouldn't lose that contract.
I'm sure. That's awesome. What a baller governor. I would do the same thing. Yeah. Hey, just give me season tickets or give me $1 million or something. Okay.
Right. A lot of people don't have issues with how entwined big business is and government, though. But it's Florida, so what can you do? So I picked Florida.
Okay.
Is that satisfactory? Where would you pick it?
I think New York.
It's too close to us. It's way too close.
It's far enough away.
But
I'm not a big New York fan. People are in awe of New York City and stuff. When I was there, I don't know if I had anxiety just because there's so many people and I was just irritated with most of them because
during New Year's?
No.
Oh, you didn't? I thought for some reason that was
not New Year's, but we went. It was I think December, but so there were so many people still in December. I couldn't imagine it.
Probably worse. Yeah.
No, like summer. I couldn't imagine it, or like the spring when it's like nice out. There'd be so many more people, and
no, I feel like around the holidays there'd be more, right?
Yeah, there's so many.
Yeah, definitely never gonna go to New York. I heard on New Year's Eve people wear diapers or they like shit and piss just where they're standing because they can't go anywhere.
Yeah, all the stores are closed.
Did I tell you about that? So we walked across the Manhattan Bridge when we went. I had to pee so bad, but they don't have any bathrooms anywhere. So
Shane has a very tiny bladder, by the way. For all you listeners, Shane has the smallest bladder known to man. This is hilarious.
It's the worst. So we found a Starbucks, and there was a bathroom in Starbucks. I was like, oh, sweet. Well, everybody else had the same idea because there was a line of 50 people, and it wasn't moving. The one lady came in and out like 3 times. There's no toilet paper. There's no toilet paper. And I said, I can't do this. I can't wait. So we went somewhere else, and I don't even remember where we went, but I think we went to like a little bistro place and immediately went in and got food and went to the bathroom, and I said, "Oh my God, I cannot live in a place where I can't find a bathroom."
It's funny. I think he just had a bad experience. But also, are you just saying that you want a New York? You just don't like New York City. You want the whole state to be a treatment plant?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know.
Sorry, New York State. Sorry, Syracuse. Sorry.
I feel like they're super
Albany.
different. I feel like they might even feel the same way about it that you do. But just rope them in, you know.
I would like to interview some people that live in New York State and see if it's nice and how they feel about New York City.
I feel like I've been upstate New York before. It's nice. It's just like country,
Yeah.
mountains and woods and stuff.
How about this? What if I just turn New York City into?
No, I just feel like the economic blowback from that would just be too bad to handle.
Whatever.
You know?
I'll live off the land.
But I guess if we turn the entire state of Florida into a treatment plant, then that would probably have a little bit of a blowback as well. So maybe. All right.
Are we done? Or are we gonna keep talking? How long have we been going for?
We're going on like an hour. So let's.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Time flies when you're talking about shit.
Yeah. Whoop whoop. Okay, so let's do our segment. Let's do our new segment. Our new segment, Schwit Facts. And I'm gonna go first. My Schwit fact is that Elon Musk is not actually the founder of Tesla. Found that out today.
Really?
Yeah. His official title is retroactive co-founder. So these two other guys, Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning, founded Tesla as the car company, and they were having trouble getting into the electric car space or developing an electric car at all. Called up Elon Musk, who was their primary investor at first in the round A funding, and he put up $6.8 million. And then as soon as they were going to close the round of funding, after the round of funding closed, he complained and he sued the company, sued Tesla for not making him founder. And then they went back and forth, and then they gave him the title retroactive co-founder, but they had to give the title to two other people who started the same day as him. So technically, this guy JB Straubel and Ian Wright, just because they started the same day as Elon, are retroactive co-founders. Isn't that funny? He spent all this fucking time trying to and then what's crazy is that he owns, or people say that he's the founder of Solar City as well. Solar City.
I don't even know what that is. So
Solar City is a solar energy company. It's like an independent energy supplier. And he says, he's not the founder because he never laid any of the groundwork for the company, but he didn't do that at Tesla. So people say that he's like a hypocrite or something. But I just thought I don't know.
He just made it $1 billion company. No big deal.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting because he's not the founder. There you go. Schwit facts.
So I found out that there was a bunch of people that were like owners of products, and they ended up dying, and then they were either buried or made into the product they made. So
say that again.
So, for example, the inventor of Frisbee golf was turned into a Frisbee when he died.
What?
Mm-hmm. So he put his remains are in a Frisbee, or
they're a Frisbee.
Edward Steady Ed Hedrick, who invented the game of Frisbee golf, made as one of his made as one of his dying wishes that his family would cremate him and mold his remains into a frisbee.
That is the most G thing to do. Oh my god, that'd be
Pringles,
so sick. I'll get my.
and then the Pringles inventor was buried in a Pringles can.
Oh my god, that's perfect. Once you pop, fun don't stop.
And then there was a coffee pioneer that was buried in a coffee pot.
That's what they should do.
Uh,
That's funny. That's what they should do. Instead of gravestones, they should like make it a certain shape for whatever describes your life. You know? What would your shape-
What would your shape be?
my shape.
I beat you. I said it first.
What'd you say? I didn't even hear what you said.
I said I beat you first. Oh, it's because you have John's network bandwidth is low.
Oh, you look fine.
So
on my
that
end.
says, well, obviously, with the headband and the giant forehead, that
The receding hairline.
it's a real thing. People don't get old. Stay young forever.
What would I be turned into?
Would it be a shape, or would it be a symbol, or would it be
Yeah.
baseball?
Oh man, no, a shirt. I would be a sweater. I want to be turned into a sweater so people can wear me. Yeah. Yep.
Who's that person who turned their dad into like a joint and smoked their dad?
Oh, that's weird. That's super
Somebody
weird.
did that. So gross.
That is fucking weird. I have some of my dad's weed. I say.
Have you ever talked?
Huh?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Have you ever talked to? So I've talked to my mom about like what she wants to do. She wants to get cremated, and we were talking about, okay, where do you want your ashes to be kind of spread? So we were talking the one day, and I said, Mom, instead of that, why don't we just, once you die, so we have a place on the Potomac River, and we have a boat. So why don't we just do it old like Roman style, where we put the coins over your eyes to set you out in the boat.
Shoot arrows at it. Ooh, can I shoot the arrows? Can I shoot the arrows?
Well, my stepdad's an archer. My stepdad hunts and stuff. And I was like, you know what? We'll get him with this fire bow, and
He's probably gonna be dead though. I mean,
we're the same age, so
you're the same age as your stepdad?
no, they're the same age.
Oh, you were talking to your mom about it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Oh, okay, sorry.
So we were, because I was thinking I might want to be a tree, because you can put like a seed in your ashes and plant it somewhere.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. They're like tree urns or something like that. Plant urns.
It's weird. All that stuff is so expensive, though. I do want my body donated to science. That's what I want. Just put me in a lab, chop off my dong, shove it on the wall, dissect my intestines a little bit, spread them out. I wonder what it feels like to put your hand inside of a stomach. It's got to feel weird as shit, right?
So I know that there are farmers that they cut holes into the cows, because cows have like 4 stomachs or something, 6 stomachs.
Yeah.
So they have to cut a hole in the cow, and they put this little thing there so they can reach into the cow's stomach. Oh my God, I haven't even thought about that in years. The only reason I know is because my dad was a milk truck driver, so he had to go to a bunch of different farms, and I saw it all the time.
What?
Let's see.
That's nice.
Let's see. Cows with holes in their stomachs.
Oh, we launched our website, questiontalkpod.com. Check it out. The latest episode will always be up on there. So fucking look at it. There's also a little bit, if you're new to the podcast, there's a little bit of a introduction to what we do here. Obviously, we do really cool stuff. But we just want to bring you guys a little light on the mysteries of the world and just brighten your day a little bit, We just want to brighten your freaking day a little bit. But we need you to start looking at our stuff so we can show more people the brightness. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? All right. All right. Good talk. Good talk. Good talk. Ready? 1, 2,
Hold up,
3.
hold up.
What do you go?
I had to tell you about the cows before we
I know.
left.
I broke. I was having a little huddle with the listeners.
Oh, you were like a huddle. Okay, I thought you were talking about like 3, 2, 1. We are done.
No,
That
I need
scared
to
me.
work. Yeah, I need to work on my counting down.
So researchers cut holes in the sides of cows called cannulas. We'll say it's cannulas for today. Effectively leaving an open wound in the cow's body for life. The window into the cow is meant for research purposes, allowing the farmers to physically reach inside the animal's stomach to analyze the contents.
like grab it and stuff. Like
They
one of
literally
those-
go in and reach inside the stomachs.
like one of those stress ball things. You can probably like feel around to see if you got any rocks or anything in there. Is that what
I
they're
have
feeling
no-
for? Like
No,
feeling
I
their
don't-
stomachs, like this. No.
I think they're literally reaching inside the stomach.
Yeah, to see what's in it.
Yeah.
So they're reaching around and they're grabbing whatever's in it to see like what. That's fucking weird.
It's like a mystery box. Put your hand in.
Oh man, I was so scared to do those things when we went to like the Natural History Museum places. That's scary, dude. I can't believe people like I watch people do that. They just stick their hand in a box and grab something. Fuck that. Fuck no. I'm
There
going
used to be a
in.
Halloween
Going
thing
in
where
inch by inch by inch.
there used to be a Halloween thing where you would stick your hand in and you would feel like spaghetti, but you'd be like, "Oh, what the heck is that?"
Yeah. They did. Did you see that one they did with the Ravens players? They put a cat under a box, and all the players like were freaking out about it. It's funny. I'll have to send it to you. All right, that is episode 12. You have anything to say to the people, Shane?
I think that I enjoy all of you. I think there was like 7 listeners last time, so I love all 7 of you so
Yeah.
much.
We're on.
Please let me know who you are. I will, if you let me know that you listen via email, I will personally write a handwritten letter or type a personal email to you
Boom.
showing my gratitude.
I think the people would want a 10-second shout out on your story,
What story?
on your Instagram story.
I could do that. Is that allowed? 10 seconds?
Yeah, you can do up to a minute.
Okay.
All right. There
I
you
can
go. You
do a
guys heard it.
10-second shout out.
Hit us up on all of social media, Question Talk Pod. Send in your questions, and everyone who sends in a question gets a shout out by Shane on a story. Deal?
Deal.
Boom.